Hey, thanks for slithering in. I am Symtherin. Welcome back to the channel. Welcome back if you are new. Today we are back with another build in The Sims 4. Surprise, surprise. Maybe a little bit of a surprise because it has been a hot minute since we posted a speed build, but nonetheless, here we are. And I figured with my first build back in a few weeks, we have a few new kits that are out, so we are doing a limited build today. Today's build is for like a grandparent's home where maybe the grandkids come over a lot, maybe they're babysitting often, and we are utilizing base game only with 3 of the most recent kits. So we are utilizing the sleek bathroom kit, the kitchen clutter kit, and the restoration workshop kit. So I can't wait to talk through some of those packs or kits in a little bit, but right now let's talk about the start of this build. The shape is pretty much coming around. It's a pretty small home. I imagine it to be pretty small. When I first sat down to build this, I knew I wanted to build something small, and right now it's just like a 1-story build, and I played around with like a floor plan that probably could have worked a little bit, but I kind of wanted a bigger kitchen. So I added a second floor to this one where we're going to put the bedroom and another bathroom. So it's just a 1-bedroom house, so not ideal for like if the grandkids are maybe coming over to sleep over or something, but I imagine that the grandparents who live here probably downsized after their kids were grown and wanted to keep something small, but they still have a lot of items and activities for kids to do and stuff in here, which I think is super fun. So hopefully you guys like it. Back here, I'm putting a little shed. I really used this lot to like the T with the amount of space we have here. So it's kind of like a garage-ish, but it's kind of small to be a full-on garage. So I kind of decorated the outside like it was a garage. I'm using some terrain paint here for the driveway. I even put a debug car out there and stuff and make a kind of a makeshift garage door with some siding and wallpaper and windows and stuff. You'll see that coming along right now. So yeah, technically you can't fit a car in there, but that little shed is pretty much where there's going to be a lot of like the woodworking table and items from the restoration kit, because maybe that's where they do all their work. I think if you're into like DIYing and stuff like that, it's pretty important to have a select space or whatever so that you're not like cluttering up the rest of your house. But I digress. What's also funny is when I was building this, I realized how well my G shade was looking. And in case there are any questions, no, I did not change what G shade I'm using. I use Miss Lollipop preset. It's all linked down in the description below, and I've been using this one for a while, but I'm realizing that G shade needed to be updated, so I wasn't really using it. So that's why it really looks like I'm using a shader for this build, but I didn't really change anything except for updating G shade. So that is a fun little fact, but I absolutely love it. I was like, oh, I forgot how much I actually love this preset that I actually thought I was using. The only thing you may see sometimes, the UI menu looks a little like see-through, and it can look a little weird and annoying depending on angles and stuff, but I'm pretty much okay with, making that sacrifice for the G shade. Anyway, I hope you guys are doing well, and I hope you're having a good start to May. It's like mid-May now, which is crazy. I can't believe we're almost halfway through the year, guys. Where is 2025 going? But yeah, it's been a while since we chatted and caught up, so I definitely wanted to check in with you guys. My life has been a little crazy. Work got a little busy. Home life got a little busy. We're currently kind of not really house sitting, but we are cat sitting. So that's been fun. And yeah, things just kind of got a little hectic for a little bit. Life got lifing, but we're all past that hopefully now. And everything's good. It was just busy. we don't have to go into the details. But I hope you guys are doing well. And even when it felt like life was getting a little slower, where I was like, okay, maybe I can start sitting down and play The Sims again and start recording stuff for this channel, I was having a hard time getting motivated to do so. There was like a week and a half where I was like, I really should do this, but I was also like, I kind of really just want to rest and be lazy. So I got Stardew Valley on my Switch so that I can play on the couch and do something. And I've kind of been currently obsessed with playing Stardew Valley. I have never really played it before, but it's a game that I've kind of always was interested in playing. So when I was going through this weird funk, I was like, you know what? I'm going to treat myself and I am going to get this game, and I've been playing it almost daily ever since. So that's why it took me a little longer than anticipated to get back into the flow of things, and I'm still getting into the flow of things, but nonetheless, we are here now, and I'm not going to bore you with the rest of those details. As you can see, or maybe you saw, I was kind of switching up the layout inside. I usually don't keep that on camera, but I kind of did this time. But it is pretty small, but we get like 2 full bathrooms in here, a nice, really large kitchen. There isn't like a crazy large dining space like I think I would have liked for a home like this, at least for like grandparents, because I would imagine, at least in my experience, my grandparents used to always be like the house you go to for Christmases and big family get togethers, and they had the space, at least enough space, honestly. You have to add an extra table sometimes, but we made it work. So, yeah, maybe you could do that in this one ideally, but technically it's not set up like that. We have like a little small dining table in the kitchen, but that's pretty much about it. The landscaping here is pretty bare minimum, like bare bones, because the house takes up a lot of space on this lot, like I was saying. So there is that, and I honestly don't mind it. So now that I'm saying that, I do want to mention that there is an unfurnished version of this that is completely base game friendly. So if you are interested in furnishing this before I do, or you're just looking for a shell or something to furnish, then it's up there. There's no special hashtag or anything. You can just go up on my gallery. Gallery ID is Symtherin, same as it is here, by the way. And yeah, that's up there. I don't usually do that, but if you guys like that, I could totally do that more. I tend to forget, especially when I get into the flow of building, then I'm just kind of like in my own world, you know? You ever get like that? Ever get in your own world when you're building? That's honestly why I love building so much. It's just so therapeutic sometimes and relaxing and honestly fun. But here we are now moving on to the kitchen. This tiling on the floor is a base game tile that came with one of the events from last year that we had. I can't remember which one. Oh, I think it was like the Blast from the Past event. Yes, because I think it's like it pays homage to a Sims 1 tile, I believe. And here is the start of adding items from the new kitchen clutter kit. When the kitchen clutter kit was announced, I already knew I was going to love it. If you're not new to this channel, or if you're not new to my particular build style, cluttered kitchens are probably one of my favorite things to do. I absolutely love a cluttered kitchen. I feel like it's just so realistic and cozy, and it just makes sense in my mind that kitchens would be cluttered. I mean, kitchens are technically the heart of the home, you know, and that's where all the magic happens. And I mean, I like food too, so maybe that explains that a little bit as well. But here I'm like trying to use this weird like outer corner cabinet to kind of cap off this end part of the wall of the cabinetry. I don't know how to words right now, but I think you know what I mean. So I used a tool mod to kind of do that, because otherwise you can't really clip it, or it doesn't slot where you want to because it's an outer corner cabinet. But I do like that cabinet, so I wanted to use it. And then that sink from the kitchen clutter kit, so good. It has dishes and a sponge in it, and I love it. We also got more like of these backsplash items, which I absolutely love. I hope we keep getting more items like that in the future, because usually if you paint the whole wall in tile and you have cabinets, it kind of looks weird if the tile is going above the cabinets. And having this item is actually really helpful because you can kind of make it make sense for the items that you're using. Let's also talk about this fridge. I think us builders have been asking for fridge magnets for a really long time now. At least I have always wanted fridge magnets, and there's ways you can do it with the tool mod and with cheats and the debug menu. You can find some things to make it look like there are magnets on your fridge, but I think having this option is a game changer, and I hope we get more like that. There are some solid swatches on this fridge, so if you don't want the magnets and cluttered look, but you like this fridge, then it's a super good option. There's like a white swatch and a plain black swatch. There might even be a couple other ones that have nothing on it. But if you look closely at each of the different magnets, it does pay homage to like other items and things across the Sims 4 universe. Like the one particular here, there's like a couple of rugs that you can see from the pastel pop kit, from the high school years kit. There's like an artwork that you would see in Dream Home Decorator, which I think is really fun. And I love those little like Easter eggs and things in The Sims 4, so I love it. We're also getting a lot of cool clutter. So this kit has quickly become my favorite. And we have like a new spice rack, we have a new like jar of spoons and spatulas, a new knife block. We also have a bunch of these like mason jar type clutter that we have on this open shelving here that you can see. And we have that little hanging basket of fruits, which I think is super cute. Some cutting board clutter, the scale, the coffee cup clutter that I'm putting over there, the cereal box clutter. I think I've said it in a recent build, at least somewhat recent within the last year, that there is a like cereal box clutter item from the, is it, I want to say Get Camping, but I know that's not the name of the kit. And it's not even a kit. It's like an expansion pack, or Outdoor Retreat. That's the name of it. There is a cereal box clutter item, but it also has a couple of cans. Like it's definitely like very like open can with a spoon kind of camping vibes that you might not always want in your builds. And I try to hide that piece of the item sometimes with other stuff. But having this option is very good. And I talked a lot about that cereal box item right now. We also have that grocery bag item, which I think is super cute too. So it really helps. This kit really helps make kitchens look a little more lived in. What you also saw was I put a retro coffee maker and a retro microwave in this kitchen. Those items are actually from the restoration workshop kit. From what I gather, because I haven't actually done any of like gameplay type things with that kit, but the idea, I believe, is that you can take these old retro kind of appliances and restore them and use them, you know? So I think that's the general idea, but we'll talk more about that kit in a little bit. Right now, I'm trying to figure out if I can fit like a full dining table out here because I like the idea of it. But while I was trying to find a rug and stuff, I was like, you know what? I don't think I have enough room because I also wanted a decent sized living space. So we get rid of that and we're going to focus on the living room now. I think I might have decorated the bathrooms off camera if I'm remembering it correctly. I think I did. So unfortunately, you won't see too much of that. And like I said, I do use items from the sleek bathroom kit, but honestly, they're more decor clutter items. I don't use the actual like toilet, sink, or showers. So, you know, it's not too big a deal, I guess, if you don't have that kit. But anyway, I'm trying to figure out the right vibes for this living room right now and trying to mix and match like these sofas and things. And I'm not sure if I'm still sold on the orange sofa. I keep it, but I still don't know if I'm completely sold on it either. But maybe in the end it works. I just knew I wanted a pop of color somewhere. And I think I was trying to kind of match it a little bit with the kitchen tiling. It's like, even though the kitchen tile is more of a brownish orangish kind of thing, and words are so hard today. I'm sorry, but I think you guys can follow my train of thought a little bit. So yeah, now I'm trying to be like, do I have the smaller orange couch or do I keep it like this? I end up keeping it like this. And I think what made it feel a little better to me was when I finally added some pillows. I also have this coffee table, which is more of like a purpley maroonish brown tone, which doesn't necessarily match any of the other brown tones in here, but I think that is completely fine. I actually find it really fun to try and mix and match wood tones in this game because, as we all know, it's very hard to match wood tones, especially in The Sims 4. And especially as you go through each pack, like, I think the older packs definitely have a lot of like the more traditional darker wood tones, and then a lot of the newer packs kind of lean more into like the lighter tones. And maybe it's all about the textures sometimes too, because I mean, there are dark wood tones in newer packs, but I don't know. If that makes sense to you guys, let me know. I feel like I prefer the darker wood tones of older packs versus preferring in newer packs the lighter wood tones. Let me know if you agree or disagree. That could be actually a pretty fun conversation. But as you can see, we are getting a lot of items for kids in here. We have toys. I put a toy chest. I put that little traveling crib like item because I think you can stick that in your inventory and kind of take it with you. You know, it's like a little pop-up crib is what I'm going to call it. And then over here in this corner, I decided to put like a little desk office space because I think that is important, especially for gameplay, just to have that. So I added some clutter up there, like these plants and book clutter. I think I even use a gnome, which I've never used as decor on the interior of any of my builds, and which is kind of weird because I literally have gnomes sitting in my kitchen, like currently two of them, and depending on the time of year more because I'm like collecting gnomes for each holiday, which is super fun. For Easter, I had these gnomes, like they were like little pastel plushy gnomes, and they had little bunny ears, and one was like green, one was purple. I think the other one was pink. Yeah, because I think my grandma didn't want the pink one. She took the yellow one or something from me. Because my grandma also loves gnomes. So I kind of blame her for my love of gnomes too. But I think recently I've become really obsessed with gnomes. So that's a me thing. Plus, I did one video where I did every tiny home is a different gnome in The Sims 4. And as of now, I have completed filming the second part of it. And now the fun part of editing it, because I kind of started editing it and clipped out all of the silent spots. And it's like over an hour long. So hopefully I'm going to get that out to you guys soon. But if you, in the meantime, want to watch the other one, which is also pretty long, I think that was also around an hour, that's available. But I digress. We're not talking about that video today. We are talking about this one. And here is our little wood workshop with the restoration kit. I think these items are pretty fun. I personally love including garages in a lot of my builds, and having like these workshop like items I think is going to be really helpful for storage and kind of storytelling kind of vibes and stuff. We even have more like floor decal where it looks like there have been some spills and stains and all this stuff. And now I'm kind of mixing and matching some other clutter items from the kitchen clutter kit. And I don't know if I get anything from the sleek bathroom kit out here, but I feel like they all kind of mesh pretty well together. And yeah, the only technical functioning thing in here for gameplay wise would be the woodworking table. I guess the fan works too, because you can turn that on. And I've turned it on once in my game. And I don't know if there was like a moodlet or something, but I could imagine that there would be like a, ooh, cool breeze moodlet or something like that. But overall, I do like the restoration kit. I don't know how much I would use it in my own personal gameplay, but we'll see. I definitely want to keep doing more gameplay, so stay tuned. But here we are working on the bedroom now, and I realized that this was actually a lot smaller than I intended it to be, but I think we still make it work. I don't know, now that I'm looking at this, if a sim can go on the other side of the bed, like the left side of the bed to get in, but the right side definitely works. I can confirm that. But also in here, I included a end table with some clutter, a plant, a lamp, and an alarm clock, which is base game. That also came with the Blast to the Past event that we did a little while ago, earlier this year. I wonder if there's going to be another one at some point. I'm surprised we haven't had one already, but I don't know. Maybe it... No, that happened in like January, February, right? February, I think. Huh. Very interesting. Okay, anyway, I digress. But there's also some open shelving over there with some more book clutter, I think. And have I cluttered that yet? I don't know. I looked away. But I absolutely had to get that plant back again in this room from the sleek bathroom kit. That I think has quickly become one of my favorite plants in the game. And I don't know. I just think it's so pretty. I low-key want one in real life. But here's the open shelving where I'm adding some more clutter. I thought about trying to get away with using items from the kitchen clutter kit, but I was like, it looks too kitchen-y. And I was hoping maybe I can pretend it was like, at least that tiered like Lazy Susan item would have been cool for like nail polish, makeup, or like kind of those beauty product kind of things. So that would have been fun, but I don't know. It didn't look very well to me. But that's pretty much been the speed build part of today's video. I am currently now trying to fix up the bathroom and rearrange things a little bit because I didn't like the layout here. I pretty much copy and pasted the one from the first floor up here and then decided to kind of finagle it a little bit. But let's get into the game and take a look at this build. Alright, we have popped into live mode to take a look at this build, and it looks like there's probably a neighborhood action plan going on because everyone has bags on their heads, but not Joffrey Landgrab, who is already in here playing SimCity, maybe? Probably not that game. He's playing something. One of these. Sure, you can like video games. Anywho, this is the exterior. I actually really like playing with some different light and dark wood tones and colors out here. We've got some minimal landscaping because this house honestly takes up a lot of room on this lot. Back here is our garage and like restoration area. We have a little bit of a patio with a dining table, and then of course some monkey bars and a couple of gardening pots out here. I don't know how much gardening the Sims who would live here would actually do, but they definitely have kids around all the time, and this camera is giving me a hard time. So let's head in. First off, we walk into this gorgeous little entry area where you have the stairs. Back over here is our bathroom, which will be the first thing I actually have Joffrey maybe start testing. And as always, I will set this sink here to a bathroom sink type. It looked like he couldn't get over there. What did he say was in his way? This thing. Oh, okay, got you. So this art table seems to be in the way, so I'm just gonna scoot things around a little bit and let's see. Hopefully that could work. Okay, good. We are off to the races. While he's doing that, we'll finish showing off this entryway where we have just a nice little chair here, a shelf with a little bit of clutter, a mirror, and a coat rack. Just some simple things I typically always put in my entryways. And it looks like the shower is also working, which is perfect. The living room here has actually a lot of cute little details, perfect for like a kid's stay at their grandparents' house. We have obviously this little like traveling crib, I guess you can say, and look at that, he sat on the rubber duck. Anyway, I was gonna have him test this of course too, so that is great. I'm glad he's not going around picking up the toys because sometimes Sims will just autonomously do that and put things away. Welcome wagon, I'm good. We are going to skip that. But on this side as well, we have the desk, as we saw, is already functional. This craft table for the kids as well, a bookcase. I like putting this little monster guy on the wall as if like the kid maybe was a drawing on the wall or something. It's kind of really funny. But then here is the kitchen, which is base game and kitchen clutter kit only. I love this new kit. Like, check out this refrigerator with all the cute little magnets. That is so cute. And now I'm looking at it, that is literally the rug here from Discover University. This one's from the pastel pop kit. Oh wait, that's really funny. This artwork here from Dream Home Decorator. Stop, that's funny. Okay, that's a cute little touch. So let's have Jeffrey cook something. Let's have dinner. Let's have vegetable dumplings. We gotta make sure that this kitchen is going to be functional for us. Like I said, a lot of things from the kitchen clutter kit is seen here, like on these open shelves. We have this cute little like retro coffee maker over here. And then of course we have this little like utility stand, I guess you can call it. It's probably called something else, but I put some clutter up on there as well. I want to take a moment to look at the sink though, with the dishes in the sink, and there's a sponge sitting in there. I love that little detail. Oh, he is just making a mess. On this side of the kitchen, we have a little dining table. Because I didn't have much room for it in the living room. I wanted a bigger one originally, but we have this one and the one on the porch, so I think that's good. And a little nook for more storage, but also the retro microwave is back here as well. Everything in here looks functional. It is working. I believe I have a smoke alarm somewhere behind one of these cabinets, but before I upload to the gallery, we will make sure that that is there. So I'm going to put this away. Before we head upstairs, I want Joffrey, oh, you can perform maintenance on this object, that's cool. I want Joffrey to kind of come in here and test some things out, especially this woodworking table. I think this would be like the only one, like the only piece of item in this like little workshop that is actually functional. But yeah, this is working. I like this like back entrance here, so he can come out and like go fishing in the canal. For some reason, this door keeps getting set as the front door, and I can't change any of the other doors, which is weird. I think that's a glitch that's been happening recently, so that might be an issue. I don't know, especially if the welcome wagon was probably standing out here for some reason, but yeah. He is all good here. This room is completely functional. Now I'm gonna have Joffrey come upstairs and we'll take a look at the layout up here. First, there's a landing where I have a little chess table just for a skill building item of some sort. Usually landings like this are pretty good for this, and it's pretty small, but I think it works. Ignore this weird shadow with the window. It doesn't show up on the outside, so that's why I left it. But look, the chess table works here, and this bedroom here we bring in a lot of blues. I think this is actually really cozy. I love the open shelving on this side of the wall here. Of course, we have the alarm clock. So I'm just going to make sure you can come over here and relax a little bit. Lovely. I love this like rug here. I think this is from the sleek bathroom kit that I just sized up a little bit. And of course this plant, like, look how cute that looks in here. Adorable. And then of course there's Joffrey over there in the window. Mirror, actually, not window. Okay. Let's make sure this bathroom works because the arrangement in here is a little funny. We are going to use this. We will set this as a bathroom type. I thought this was going to be weird. All right. Let's see if I select it first and then scooch it into the wall a little bit. Maybe that could work. Now can you use it? Perfect. And then we'll also take a quick shower in there as well. Did you not wash your hands? Is that a trait of yours or something? You're not like messy or anything, but okay. At least that works. And you know what? I meant to set this as a kitchen sink too. Booyah. Now that we have confirmed that this build is functional despite the weird like front door issue here, I'm going to upload it to the gallery. Here it is up on the gallery, all set and ready to be downloaded and added to your games. As you can see here, we are only using items from the 3 recent kits. That is the Kitchen Clutter Kit, Restoration Workshop Kit, and some items from the sleek backroom kit. But if we click into that and hit show used items, you'll see that these are just the items that are being used. So they're more like clutter items and like a lighting. So if you don't have this kit, it shouldn't be too big of a deal. If you lose these items, you can replace them with base game like items and things. Well, thank you guys for checking out this video. I know it's been a while and it's been really nice chatting and catching up with you guys. And of course, big thank you to all of my channel members for supporting me in this way. You guys are super awesome. Don't forget to hit that like button, comment, and subscribe. And I will chat with you guys all in the next one. Bye!